Welcome to The Explainer. If you love getting straight to the practical application of complex topics, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're systematically breaking down the core competencies of project management. We're going to tear down some really common industry myths, look at actual real-world scenarios, and build a concrete playbook to absolutely crush any imposter syndrome you might feel when taking the lead. So, let's jump right in.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's probably the single most common question that stops incredibly talented people from stepping up. Do I need to be an absolute expert in the field to manage a project? Honestly, it's so easy to assume that a project manager has to be a master of every single technical detail, right down to the coding, the engineering, or the fine print. But as we'll see, that assumption isn't just wrong, it can actually be pretty counterproductive.
We all feel that immense pressure to just know it all, right? That myth that a PM must be a master of the technical side. But let's look at the reality through a scenario from our source material. Take Jamar. He just landed his first PM job, managing the construction of a new elementary school. Does he need to know how to install commercial plumbing or run electrical wiring? No way, absolutely not. His actual job is to hire the right plumbers and electricians, facilitate communication between them, and clear out barriers so the real experts can do their best work without any friction. It's like being the conductor of an orchestra. You don't need to play every instrument to make incredible music.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by debunking project management myths, then break down the 4 core competencies, explore how to handle ambiguity, dive into influencing without authority, and wrap it all up with mastering interpersonal dynamics.
All right, kicking things off with debunking project management myths. We just busted the technical expertise myth, but another massive misconception out there is that you need years of previous PM experience to succeed. As we saw in the source text with Sophia, a call center supervisor who successfully led a huge software rollout, experience isn't the main prerequisite. Mastering the right skills is what actually matters.
Moving into the 4 core competencies. So, if you don't need to be a technical expert or a 10-year veteran, what exactly do you need? Well, it really boils down to 4 specific pillars.
The very first competency is enabling decision-making. Notice that word, enabling. As a project manager, you don't have to have all the answers yourself. Instead, your goal is to empower your team members right from the very start. You state the goals of a deliverable, and then you make the process collaborative. For instance, you might provide the relevant data so the group can make a really informed decision between choice A and choice B. Gathering these insights doesn't just find more creative and efficient approaches, it also fosters deep accountability and brings the team closer together.
To ground this concept in reality, let's look at Yui's scenario from our source text. Yui is managing the launch of a winter sleepwear line. She clarifies the objectives with her cross-functional team right up front. Then, when the materials department tells her a specific fabric has suddenly spiked in price, Yui doesn't panic, and she definitely doesn't try to redesign the pajamas herself. Instead, she collaborates with the expert, her materials team member, to quickly pivot to a new supplier. By trusting her team with the details, Yui protects the budget and keeps her focus right where it belongs, on the big picture strategy.
Okay, the second competency is communicating and escalating. You're going to use your communication skills in just about everything you do, from documenting plans to sending out those weekly status emails. But the truly crucial part here is knowing when to escalate issues to stakeholders. And the text gives us a golden rule for this. When you do have to escalate an issue to management, always approach them with both the problem and a potential solution. It shows immense proactive initiative and proves you're thinking 2 steps ahead.
Our third core competency is strong organizational skills. Now, a project has countless moving parts, and let's be honest, without a solid system, things absolutely will get lost. It's your job to utilize processes and tools to ensure nothing is overlooked. And remember, your team is watching you. If you demonstrate that staying organized through efficient tracking is a priority, they're naturally going to follow your lead.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Rather than just viewing this as a random list, think of these tools as your daily control center. You'll be utilizing planning and scheduling software to map out workflows and calendars. Then, you'll rely heavily on collaboration dashboards to keep all team communications centralized in one spot. You'll also need solid documentation spreadsheets so institutional knowledge is retained long-term, right alongside quality assurance trackers to monitor productivity. Mastering these specific tools is exactly how you prevent those essential tasks from slipping through the cracks. Now for our 4th and final core competency. flexibility, and handling ambiguity. Because look, no matter how great your organizational tools are, unpredictable moments are entirely guaranteed. That's just the nature of the job.
Which brings us to this incredibly powerful maxim highlighted in the Google course material. The only constant is change. It's a great pattern interrupt for us to look at because it really sets the right mindset. When goals shift unexpectedly, or maybe a key team member takes a new job somewhere else, your ability to stay cool under pressure is exactly what helps the entire team stay calm.
So how do we turn the abstract idea of flexibility into concrete, proactive strategies? Well, first you assess external constraints. This means leaving extra time for known holidays and vacations right up front. Second, you plan for risks. Ask yourself, what if someone quits? And literally line up a list of backup contractors in advance. Finally, you calculate your float or slack. You need to know exactly how long you can delay a task before it fundamentally derails the entire schedule.
Now, when ambiguity hits hard, here is your clear, chronological playbook. Step 1. Keep calm. Your grace under pressure is going to inspire the team. Step 2. Express empathy. Acknowledge the real challenges they're facing. Step 3. Communicate what you do know clearly to anchor everyone. Step 4. Make decisions and stick to them, because second-guessing yourself in front of the group just breeds more uncertainty. And Step 5. Trust team expertise. Gather everyone to brainstorm creative ways to find the information you're still missing.
Moving into our next section, influencing without authority. We're pivoting now from the hard skills of project planning to the really nuanced art of interpersonal leadership. This is kind of your secret weapon. Influencing without authority is exactly what it sounds like. It's your ability to guide teammates to complete their assigned work without actually acting as their direct manager. The text rightly points out that this is one of the most critical, yet honestly, one of the most challenging aspects of the job. You can't just mandate that things get done. You have to foster genuine cooperation and buy-in. Let's look at exactly how to apply this in practice with two concrete scenarios. Problem number 1, a coworker is chronically late to every single meeting. Now you can't fire them, so what do? The interpersonal solution is to sit down and clearly explain how their behavior impacts the rest of the team, or strategically ask them to arrive 15 minutes earlier than the group. Problem number 2, a coworker is 3 weeks late delivering a retirement party venue list. The solution here? Explain how this delays the entire event date, then ask about their current workload, and genuinely offer to help free up their schedule. You're influencing the outcomes through support, not through demands.
And that brings us perfectly into our final section, mastering interpersonal dynamics. To influence without authority successfully, you are constantly balancing the specific needs of your teammates with the overarching needs of the project.
Let's detail the 4 specific skills in your interpersonal toolkit. First up is communication, regularly checking in and providing clear, actionable feedback. Second is negotiation. When a teammate misses a deadline, you have to be willing to compromise to find a workable path forward. Third is conflict mediation, stepping in to resolve tension when 2 teammates disagree on how to handle a shared task. And finally, understanding motivations, figuring out what actually pushes your teammates to do their best work, and knowing exactly how they prefer to receive recognition gives you a distinct, incredibly powerful professional advantage as a leader. We've covered some incredible ground today. We debunked the technical master myth, we systematically broke down the 4 core competencies, and we unlocked the interpersonal toolkit you need to influence without authority. You now understand that your real value isn't knowing every single technical detail. It's bringing the right pieces together. So armed with this exact playbook, how will you step up and lead your next project?